Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 19 of Read This Way. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Brad, this is Logan, and we're back to talk about manga and anime in the news and what we've been reading and all of that jazz.
All of the great stuff.
That's right. Now, there's actually been a couple of new series since the last episode that we did.
Since the last loss that we had, yeah.
We
lost two.
We haven't even talked about the cancellations yet, have we?
No.
What was it? It was Dron, and what was the other one that we lost?
The space one.
Oh yeah, Earth Children.
Earth Children.
Yeah, the one that you didn't really like much.
No, I didn't.
I mean, the one shot was really good. It was cute.
I really enjoyed the one shot. That was good.
Yeah,
but that's probably where they should have left the story. I don't think the story had enough in it.
Yeah,
or that maybe it was just the direction that they took wasn't.
It kind of felt a little bit all over the place. I read the whole thing. I enjoyed it. It wasn't fair, like mind blowing, but it had its moments, and the art was pretty. The art was pretty. But yeah, it admittedly, like past that first chapter, it didn't really hit that same level of enjoyment, planning, that sort of.
Well, yeah, I think that's where it fell short on the planning. They just went, "Oh, this is what we've got to do," but it just feels like they just kept forcing the story forwards instead of taking their time, and the characters had to develop the story a lot quicker than what they naturally should have.
We will get to one property that I'm very eager to talk about because it doesn't feel like it fits in with the current Shonen Jump. It was it was a little bit somber to see Earth Children go, but I'm glad that it wrapped up with a proper conclusion, and that's what I'm noticing with the last two cancellations. They didn't feel like the axe chopped off the head. It felt like it was a nice. I don't know. I can't think of a metaphor, but
it was just a good closer. It felt like a natural progression from middle of the story to the end. Like the end of the arc was just the end of the story. It just felt natural in that sense. And Duran was the same.
Yeah.
I really hope that gets picked up as an anime. Such a good little one-season story. I reckon it would make a great platform for a small studio to utilize, to showcase, essentially.
Yeah, if we're going off like cancelled manga, though, I would much prefer to see Phantom Seer. But do we see much in the way of anime adaptations on cancelled projects from Jump?
Probably not from Jump. You might see it from a few others. Yeah, I guess not. Like, when you look at it, the animes get cancelled well before the manga do.
Yeah, it's definitely seems to be like don't get me wrong, the anime itself is its own medium and property, but the way that it seems like they use it as more of like a advertisement for the manga, and vice versa, I guess, because they at the end of the day want to sell merch.
Yeah.
And whether or not that's a book or a DVD or a Blu-ray or a streaming service, it doesn't really matter so long as there's some interest behind it.
Yeah, some sort of popularity is picking up. And I guess it's just really weird that they would leave such a big repertoire of I know they were cancelled because they were technically unpopular, but it's just
Yeah.
like a big library of content sitting there of stories that are good. You know, they're just good stories that didn't make it as far as the general common crowd goes.
Yeah. Well, that actually, in saying that as well, there seems to. Okay, let me rewind for a second. I've been reading a lot of my manga lately on Manga Plus and mostly on browser on PC, and it's a lot easier to like jump into the comment section. I haven't really fiddled around with it on the app, but people are so brutal when it comes to any new series. Like, I'm talking one chapter in, and they're like, "Axe is coming for you." It's like, whoa, maybe slow down just a little bit, and maybe this is the reason why so many series get canceled so early on, is because people aren't willing to give a new series a chance because they're spiteful or vindictive of their previous canceled series.
Possibly, I don't know what the the comments will be like in over in Japan, considering we
Yeah,
have no real sway as far as the popularity goes. But if they're as harsh as they are here, then yeah, understandable that they've been as aggressive as they are. But I don't know. I feel like that there's so many titles that aren't given enough room to breathe that we lose out in the end.
yeah. I mean, if you're going to take the opportunity, take the risk on a property, at least give it a chance to stand on its own legs before you chop out those said legs underneath
Yeah,
them.
yeah, that's right.
But the other one that we lost was Dororon,
Yeah,
and again, like you said, that felt very natural. And admittedly, there was a couple of times leading up to I guess, the conclusion that I did think it was going to get axed because it felt like it was rushing a little bit, but
mm.
they handled it very well. It didn't feel anywhere near as rushed as like previous cancelled projects.
I think that's because they probably believed in the project a lot more,
Yeah,
and they felt that they could still bring it back from the brink, and they didn't want to shut any doors. They didn't want to, you know, do anything too drastic too quickly. So they still let the story progress relatively naturally, except I think they just replaced some characters with other characters in order to push it further along. I mean, to
you reckon?
pull the big bad out,
Yeah.
straight away
Wow.
like
I
that.
mean, also, I did like the little bait and switch that they did with the big bad that was like sealed away. I wonder if that was in initially planned to happen that way, or if they ran out of time to develop the big bad, so they had to then settle for the one that was kind of trying to unseal the big bad,
Yeah,
and then had him absorb said big bad and then get taken out in one chapter.
in one shot. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought I don't understand why that series wasn't popular. I really
it
don't.
felt it felt very early, um 2000s.
Yeah. It had a cool retro vibe to it, I thought.
Yeah.
And I thought the characters were really honest and textured compared to a lot of the generic stuff that's floating around. There was a lot less you know, emo angsty kind of thought thrown around inside it
Yeah.
compared to what a lot of the popular manga are doing at the moment. They're all just heading towards this real edgy perspective and forgetting, comics are fun.
They are.
Yeah. But they're not
Yeah.
cool. They're not cool if they're like, if they're for kids and stuff like that. And that's the sad thing, I think. I think they're trying to hone their demographic too tightly, and they're losing good titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, speaking of some good titles, we recently just saw some amazing news for Akane Banashi, with what
Yeah.
its 26th chapter out. There's only 2 volumes in circulation, and they've already smashed 200,000 copies sold. And volume 1 is now on its 5th print.
Yeah.
That's
And look,
crazy.
I'm sure that is due to it being it's a great story. It's great characters. It's very different to everything else. But I also feel like it's been pushed very heavily because of the amount of support it's had from
The
the
mangaka.
professionals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I honestly think that it is as popular and growing as fast as it is because Oda turned around and said, I love this. And then anything he touches is gold, right? It's so it's kind of a cheat code for them in a sense, for him to back it like that.
And I mean, he hasn't really backed a lot, so it's
No, and that's
pretty.
saying something, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to belittle the work though. I don't want to say it's not popular. I don't want to say it's not a great series. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that its growth and its immense popularity that's happening at the moment
Has been greatly
is
helped.
it's definitely been pushed along by a few professionals.
It's been given a spotlight, but it shines in and of itself.
Yeah. It's a worthy spotlight. Let's say
Yeah.
that. It'll be interesting to see where they go from here because
Oh, I am keen for the
I
next
don't know.
chapter. Are you up to date with Akane?
Yeah.
I
I
really,
want
really
it's gonna
liked
be
that. I forget how much I love the chill down chapters after like a really hype arc, because it's just you get that time to breathe, and the characters are also breathing like almost like a sigh of relief, and that's where like a lot of big character growth comes into it, and you get a lot of heart, I guess.
you get a lot more dynamic environment, dynamic relationships happening. That chill down factor, those guards let down, those general conversations definitely help push characters along as far as their identity goes, I guess, because you're not yelling or performing or trying to do
Or
something
training.
or training. You're sitting around the dinner table and you're having a conversation. That's where real growth happens.
It's similar like with Dandadan. It's in its like sort of lull period at the moment. It's where you have a lot of fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
I love how every time they finish a big arc in Dandadan, it's straight to the dinner table and all the new characters around the dinner table with them.
Hey, who are you?
The family is just getting bigger and weirder as it goes along. And man, I love it. It is. I still talk to people and they're like, "Oh, what's Dandadan?" And I'm just like, "How have you not heard of this?" They will have heard of basically, mangas that have 4 issues published, and they'll know how popular they are and all that sort of stuff. And you ask them about this one, they're just like, "No, I've never heard of it." I feel like it's due to the fact that it's only published in Plus, in Jump Plus.
Yeah.
It's really hitting. It's pushing it, pulling its popularity in the Western market because of that. I feel like they could
Yeah.
push it a lot
Well,
harder.
and that's the weird thing, right? Because it's not available on the Shonen Jump app, but it's
Yeah.
available on the Manga Plus app.
Yeah.
You can read it through on the Viz website, but you can't read it on their app, which is just whack.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I'm guessing that's all, licensing.
well, apparently it was to do with age rating, was what I remember hearing somewhere. They wanted to keep the age rating on the app low, which is why you don't have Golden Kamui, and there's a couple
Jujutsu
others.
Kaisen.
I know, right?
Yeah. What else is on there? Trojan X is on there, isn't it? It's not just on Plus. I think it's on Standard Jump as well.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah. And even your more popular stuff like My Hero Academia, it's not lightweight stuff. There's some pretty heavy, happenings in there. So their idea of trying to keep it lighter weight is that maybe they were just scared of the female form, which does tend to happen quite a bit in Dandadan, and they were just worried that they were going to get a backlash from that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the paranoid folk at Square, you understand.
The what?
The Squaresoft guys.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, because I completely forgot about this rant that I had. You just like.
I just lining it up for you. I was just
like,
going, I was pushing towards the censorship segue for you.
Yep.
And
completely forgot about it. So, all right. I'm sure everyone's probably heard about it by now because there's been people talking about it. I think when it launched about a month ago.
It's been going for a little bit longer than that.
Has it?
Yeah.
I haven't touched it because it's garbage.
Yeah.
The Square Enix app for manga, I think it's Manga Up, I think is what they called it, which is kind of weird, but anyway. Has 3 different currencies to purchase manga. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. To rent manga that has been chopped up into segments, so you're not even getting a full chapter, as well as them censoring arbitrarily. It doesn't make any sense. I cannot fathom how they thought this business model was going to be successful.
They didn't think. It's clear there was no thinking, unless it was just some April Fool's joke that got out of hand. It seems really ridiculous.
Yeah. And just for some context, I've been reading Vermeil in Gold, the new Horny Magician manga,
which we love.
Really, really fun. It's just as horny as it is, it's also really wholesome. I don't really know.
It's got some really heartfelt moments in it, and I feel like the characters, despite all the showy, ecchi stuff that happens in it, they have a connection between each other. And the great thing is all these characters are just trope-filled rubbish, but they're taken to the absolute maximum.
Are you talking about your favorite, the
childhood friend? Oh, she's just magic, absolute magic. Every moment she has on panels is just fantastic.
Oh man, you have no idea.
She's just so much energy on the page, and I love that.
There's an obligatory minor spoilers. There's an obligatory swimming pool chapter,
of course,
and it gets really out of hand, especially for her. Like you've got Vermeil who's like rented a bikini because Demon doesn't own clothes, but magic.
Yeah.
And so she's rented a bikini, and the friend also gets invited, and she feels threatened by not only the demon lady but also all the other female characters on the student council. And so she pulls out her barely swimsuit, like it's basically a mankini but for a woman. But even more revealing, and it's blatantly stated as well that she owns this, and that it's her secret weapon to like get the MC to notice her. And yeah, they end up meeting like a very important army general dude. Like he's like real high up. He's like prestigious sort of guy in high society, and she is talking to this guy like she is wearing a full suit. She does not giving an inch in embarrassment. She is just like owning that shit so hard. It is so dumb.
That's what I love about her though. She's just 100% all the time with everything.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
But yeah, and
yeah.
that scene in that chapter in particular, I was reading, where I noticed. Oh, hey, Jack.
Jack.
Where I noticed all the censorship and it being so arbitrary because they would censor like Vermeil's butt in one panel, and it really wasn't anything raunchy. Like she's wearing a bikini, so they censor a little bit of her booty, and then you've got childhood friend standing right next to her wearing significantly less and not a censor bar in sight. It's like I don't were you just drunk when you were trying to censor this?
I feel like they just randomly they made some sort of AI code to detect
actually that's probably
the pervy parts, and it just didn't pick it up. And you like the stuff you sent me, I mean, where it would censor cleavage on one panel, but then the next panel it just didn't at all.
It was like, and the panels that they were censoring were like really tiny, so like you'd have like a small little, almost a stick figure, and you could make out the shapes and whatnot, and that would have a censor bar over it, and then you'd go to the next bit and it's like a full page spread, just tig old biddies everywhere, and it's completely uncensored, and I just don't understand what they're doing. Not to mention, like, yeah, I'm getting real mad about the censorship side of it, but the main problem I have with the Square Enix app is they are charging you for renting portions of manga chapters with a very confusing currency. Like there's 3 different types. You've got the free currency, the XP, which I assume you get from reading manga, and then you've also got the paid currency. It's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
Just do what Webtoon does. Just do that. Do what Square Enix
don't do what Square Enix does.
Do what Viz is doing. Do what Shueisha's doing. Just don't do whatever you're doing.
You know what I want? I want Kodansha to start doing.
Yeah, actually, that'd be really cool. That would be really cool.
I really do, because they have such good titles.
I think Kodansha has a Japanese version, but that's it. They don't have anything for us Gaijin. Can't see past my mic.
It's a real shame, because they produce some amazing titles.
Yeah, there's literally nothing. It's really disappointing.
Yeah,
I want more. Give me. We say that, but like we're barely keeping up with the manga.
Oh yeah, I'm struggling. I'm struggling so hard to keep up at the moment. Man, before we even got on this podcast, I had to power through. Today, I had to power through like 8 chapters of comics.
Yeah, I did see that you were a little bit behind with Dan too.
Yeah, I was two issues behind. I don't know how I missed. I started reading the latest chapter. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Where's the kaiju?
I wasn't that far along. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, okay.
I was only 1 issue behind. So it's So it was it was a bit of a rush to get everything caught up again. Luckily there was only sort of 1 or 2 issues of most things. to catch up on.
I'm more falling behind with the stuff that's on Manga Plus. I need to catch
It's
up.
harder. It's harder to keep track of. And what I've done is
Yeah.
I've started just adding them to my favorites. And then instead of
Yeah.
looking through what's new, I just go to my favorites, which means I'm starting to miss out on all the new stuff that's coming around.
Yes, and there's so much new stuff coming out on Manga Plus. Like, I thought the 2 new series was it, but like we've got hang on a second. We've got Ghostbuster Osamu, which I haven't started yet. Skeleton Double, which looks pretty cool.
Skeleton Double. Oh, I heard about that one. I didn't get around to reading it though. That does sound really interesting, that one.
And I think there was. No, that's not it. Where is it? There it is. There's a horror-looking one, The Dark Doctor Ikaru. That one looks pretty cool. Haven't started that one yet. There have been a few. Yeah, there has been a few Jump Plus titles been put on hiatus as well.
Oh, okay.
Stage S is on hiatus.
Still. Jeez,
Yeah.
I hope they get better.
I
was really, really enjoying that series.
It was pretty cool. I mean, I'm very enjoying that too. Actually, maybe that was the only one. Maybe I'm thinking of Ruri Dragon as well, which
it's still on hiatus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those two are definitely on hiatus. I haven't seen a Choja Next chapter for a little while again.
Yeah, but he's like
he just sporadic, does what he wants. Yeah,
which is good. I am all for it.
Yeah. I'll just wait patiently.
Or impatiently.
Yeah.
There are so the 2 new series that replaced the 2 Jump titles. We've got one started last week, which was the Tokyo Demon Bride story.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm a sucker for when it comes to like yokai and all of that sort of folklore. Like that is what I love, is Japan's folklore and everything. So this is right up my alley. It's a romance, right up my alley.
It's good.
It's comedy.
It's so goofy.
It's so goofy. And the art style is really cool. I like the MC's design. I really like the Demon Bride. She is so cute.
Yeah, I'm actually really liking the MC being just stone cold. I don't know who you are. Instead of being this, we made a promise when we were 3 and all that sort of crap. It's he's just like stone cold. We need to get out of debt, out of my way.
So a quick overview. 10 years ago, the MC promises to marry a girl in the forest, and then pretty much books it to Tokyo with his family. Fast forward 10 years. Turns out the girl is a demon, or specifically an Oni, and she comes to pretty much collect on the debt.
Well, it's sort of 70-30. She came to collect on the debt, but she also came to protect him. Because
that's right. He has like funky
he's got
blood,
a special type of blood. Yeah,
wasn't
funky blood?
I think wasn't there something else recently that did the funky blood? I feel like there was.
I feel like a lot of them do funky blood.
Yeah, true. I mean, it was probably the vampire one that got cancelled as well. I think they did something with funky blood.
Yeah.
But it pretty much like jumps straight into it. She rocks up with like other yokai in tow, and he's just like, nah, I'm overworked. Closes door on her face and just goes on with his day. And then it's just like, yeah, no, you made a promise to me, and then hilarity ensues. He can't remember shit. And so far 2 chapters in, really vibing it. I don't know where exactly it's gonna go. It
Somewhere. It'll go
at all.
somewhere.
I mean,
I
2 chapters in, but
don't know. I honestly don't know where they're gonna have to pull out a big bad at some point. They're gonna have to pull out the main enemy. Otherwise, it's not going to be a typical Jump series. It needs something.
yeah,
It's
they
lacking
do.
direction.
Well, I mean, with the whole blood thing, they do seem to
Yeah.
be setting that up.
Yeah, that's
But
what
I
I
don't know
feel.
if it. I don't know if it really needs it. Like at the moment, the debt is the big bad, and them building their relationship together is like the main goal that I see. Um, the demon girl doesn't want to be a burden. She wants to integrate herself into the household, and everyone else seems to be pretty chill with her.
Yeah.
It's just the MC. He's like, I don't know if I want this.
Don't know if I want a
Well,
demon bride. I don't know. I do look.
insane.
I
Flipping
got a
back to what you were saying
very.
before, he's also fitting into that emo, broody.
He does.
You don't know who I am.
Yeah. I've got responsibilities. I'm an adult. Yeah.
Bro, you're 15.
I just, when it comes to romance comedy, I've got a really high bar. I expect a particular level, and I've actually been going back and rewatching Toradora, which is my standard. That is my standard for
I
romance comedy.
haven't watched it in a while actually, but I remember really enjoying Toradora.
It, as far as beats and moments and character interactions, it was the best romantic comedy series that I've seen.
The palm-sized tiger, wasn't that what I like?
Palm Top Tiger.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Man, she was such a little fiery redhead.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so tiny. But yeah,
that's my standard, and I don't mind the goofy factor, but I'm just waiting. It's got to have some drama somewhere.
Yeah, it's clear that she is enamored by him and sees what he doesn't. I'm interested to see how the author now pivots the MC into being interested in the Demon Bride.
Yeah.
Because they've firmly established that he doesn't see her like that. He doesn't know her. And all of this. So there's like a lot of roadblocks that have been set up. So I'm eager to see where the direction goes.
Yeah.
Actually, did you read chapter 2?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you find it a little jarring when they were like talking about the thief stealing the handbag?
I'm just gonna
I'm just gonna quickly check to see if I did read it.
Oh god, halfway. I got halfway through.
Cool. Well, it was towards the end of that chapter, so you didn't get up.
Oh, there's just so many words. God damn it.
Who would have thought?
I know. I just
actually you missed the best bit where he tries to yell.
No, I haven't missed it yet. I'll get to it.
There's a section because he works in Tokyo, and there's a big foreigner presence in Tokyo because it's the like one of the destinations, and so he yells out in English to try and get people to stop this thief that he's seen from on the roof, and he yells out the completely wrong. Come on, guys. You guys are all about the action manga. I swear to God.
It's moments. It's got to be the moments.
So
he's just yelling out the wrong English word.
He turns out that he is like the bottom of his class in English, so he just yells out the completely wrong phrase. He's like, how do you say stop them in English? And he's just like, stay with me. And everyone's like, what? It's good. But like almost the next page and like almost like a half page feels like a flashback, but there's no indication of that. And then it like instantly snaps back to where he is.
So it doesn't black out the background or anything. It just
no. So I was like, hang on, why is he back in the shop and no longer on the roof? And then flick the page, and then it was like, oh, he's back on the roof. What the freaking hell happened? So yeah, it was a little jarring. Jack, come on, man. You need to get with it.
Need to get with it. Got to keep up.
That's right. So yeah, I'm vibing. I'm vibing it. Want to see where it goes. Also, really dig that there was a person in a wheelchair. Haven't seen someone in a wheelchair in a manga in a very long time. I can't really think of the last one right now.
I feel like the mangaka for this is a lot more open-minded than a lot of the others in the sense of their character development and their representation of what's currently happening.
Yeah, you are Mr. Isekai.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is very clear there, where you call it Truck Chan as opposed to Truck Kun. So the other new series that replaced one of the two was Ginka and Luna, which so glad that they gave us a pronunciation for how to say Luna, because I was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna pretend that I know who you are and how to say your name in my head, but we're not gonna actually arrive.
Did you? Oh yeah, because I was pronouncing the G.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and it's
Luna?
like translator note. There's a silent G. I was like, well, why put it there? Why? Why? I can never remember what the accents for the two dots above the U mean. Is
above to, like, above a U becomes a oo.
Right, so you just like elongate that sound a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Luna already has that oo sound in it.
Yeah, but it's kind of more like a double oo, like oo. Luna.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think I'm not a linguist, but from memory, I believe.
No, you said you meant Chan because you love truck. I just almost.
He's driving a truck.
That up.
He's about to hit someone with truck Chan.
You about to isekai someone?
Yeah, I think
Please
so.
Don't. 2 hands on the wheel, Jack.
That's right. That's right. Don't text and drive.
That's right. That's legal.
That's right.
So how far did you?
I didn't get far into it at all. I read about 2 pages in, and from the artwork and the style, it has a Red Hood sort of vibe to it. That sort of Nordic, mythological kind of vibe to it. Is from what I took. A very, also once again, very classic retro style.
It's nice just to have a straight fantasy as opposed to an isekai for a change.
Yeah.
Is it though? I don't. Cruise control doesn't account for anyway.
It doesn't drive enough. The couple. Anyway,
you don't own a Tesla, Jack. At least I don't think you do. Do you?
I hope he doesn't. Would have run over 3 people by now.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I can't comment on it a lot. I'm gonna have a good read of it because I feel like it's something that I'm gonna really enjoy.
Yeah.
I love magic. I love North mythology. I love a lot of the concepts that they're throwing out there. When they said Magic Snowman in the title, or in the description, I was very hesitant
Why is that?
to have a look at it. I just don't know. The concept is of Magic Snowman just automatically goes to all those crappy American 90s
Frosty the
films.
Snowman.
Yeah, that crap. And I'm just like, why? Even Frozen. I mean, it's that American image of it that's killed it.
I was
So
wondering. I did
hoping-
forget to ask you where that weird animosity towards it came from. I was like, I'll save it for the show.
yeah. It's there. It's true. It's real.
So
I'm sure
far,
I'm not the only one.
Again, one chapter in, it's hard to say where it's going. It set up some interesting stakes, and it feels like it's going to be an adventure series, probably closer to the vein of like One Piece.
Yep.
And more One Piece than Red Hood. At least that's what I'm seeing with it at the moment. It may have a major overarching villain that they've kind of hinted at, hence why we've got the snowman. And what exactly do we have? So
as long as they don't introduce an academy, all should be fine.
No, I don't think they will, because the training arc practically happens in the first chapter. So
fantastic.
So you've got Luna, who is an orphan. She never knew her father, which I feel like is a very important point. And
yeah, they died. They sort of emphasized that.
Yeah. So I have a feeling, and I could be wrong, the snowman could either be her father or the person behind the snowman. Trying not to like major spoil thing. It's the first chapter.
There's nothing you can spoil at this point without straight up speculation.
So the story begins in the deep mountains where orphan girl Luna finds a snowman when she's out foraging for food. She finds some snow bananas, which I really want to try because they sound amazing. And she literally just what?
It's just blue bananas.
I know, man. I want to try a blue banana. So she takes off her hat, puts it on the snowman, and because he looked cold, which children logic.
Yeah.
And so the snowman decides to repay her for her kindness by smashing in the door to her house and eating all her snow bananas. And so they immediately have this very almost like Three Stooges sort of dynamic going on, where there's like that slapstick sort of humor going on. And so we get maybe 10 pages of like that sort of setup, and then it's just bang, 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 where fast, like time skipping ahead like 5 years, and he's the snowman has taught her how to be a magician. After she graduates from his magic lessons, he first of all he pieces out. He's like, all right, deuces, bye. You go, leave now. And she apparently is a prodigy. It's very hard for a child older than 2 to start learning magic because of the like societal adult thinking. Essentially, from what the series is setting up, is magic is a lot about imagination, and when that childhood imagination kind of starts dissipating because you need to grow up, that's when you can no longer start to become trained to be a magician, because your brain is already kind of wired
in this direction, in
in
reality.
in like a this is what can happen, straight line, like there is nothing outside of that sort of thing. So it's interesting that she's like roughly 4 or 5 when he starts training her, and it only takes her like uh, I can't remember exactly now. It was like 5 or 10 years, but it was significantly faster than anyone else was supposed to be able to learn magic. Which is where I'm feeling that the lineage is going to be important,
Yeah.
because we then find out that Ginter is or was actually a very powerful magician that got into a wizard duel that ripped a hole in space time and got his body stolen. So the premise is that we're going on an adventure to find Ginter's body.
Which is in a black hole somewhere.
Well, no. But it's just where the fight took place that there was that thing. Oh, I just knocked my mic. And the other magician stole the body for reasons I don't know. I got nothing.
We'll find out, I guess.
And also set traps to basically imprison Ginter in the mountains so he couldn't leave. But then, of course, you've got the new magician girl who's like, well, that's dumb. You can do anything with magic. You said so. And so she's all like, I'll just magically recreate an atmosphere around you so you don't melt. Sort of thing. It was really cool. Sort of thought experiment when it comes to the magic system. I really, really digged it. And there were some really, really cool panels. And there was a really nice double spread as well. It was a good first chapter.
Right.
It's
I will sit
boxes.
and enjoy that. I will sit and enjoy. Definitely. Anything on the anime front you've been watching?
Yeah. Trigger has dropped their new series, Edge Runner, the Cyberpunk series, and I'm trying to pace myself because I don't want to watch all 10 episodes in one go, even though I really want to. Oh my god, it's so pretty, Logan. It's so goddamn gorgeous.
I'm going to sit down and watch it when I've got, 8 hours straight to sit down and watch it. I don't know how long the episodes.
You really don't. They're like 23.
Okay.
Just standard episodes.
I mean, 4 hours. 4 hours straight. Gotta have a pee break in there somewhere.
Yeah. I am already. It's definitely doing its job because I want to play the game again, and I already know that I'm going to rewatch this afterwards. I will admit though, they really have a thing for their MCs having like the real like slick mohawks. You got Carmina, you got the dude from Promare.
That's because mohawks are cool.
I know. The MC has probably closer to Promare vibes than he does Carmina vibes, but
yeah,
it's so good. It's got everything as well. It's not for kids, like at all. It's insanely violent. It's pretty gory, and there's also quite a bit of nudity in it too.
So this is really fascinating. That this is a real change for Trigger. This is not their standard line of.
Well, see, here's your trick, right? The titties that you do see, they're not real titties. They're cybernetic titties. So I guess that's the loophole.
They've also got a woman showrunner on this one.
Also, Netflix property. as well as produced by CD Projekt Red, which the game itself had all of this stuff in it anyway, so it only makes sense for it to.
You got to expect it. If they're going to make something for it, it's going to be that same level of everything. Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of key visuals for it and animated GIFs and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh, I'm drooling over this stuff because it's just been too long for Trigger to release something of this caliber.
I've been impatiently waiting for this and kind of been pushing it out of my mind as much as I can because I didn't want to know anything. It was Trigger. I liked Cyberpunk's world. I was sold. Like, you didn't need to do anything else to get me to watch it.
No.
But
they did.
4 episodes in, I have no regrets. My only regrets is that I haven't watched all of it yet. But it is nice to come home and be like, ooh, I've got more episodes to watch. So I am slowly pacing myself on it, but
nice.
Yeah, there's not really a lot to say about it without like giving away a whole lot. It feels like a very gritty underbelly coming of age story, along with it being a romance. It's got comedy, it's got insane action choreography, it's just insanely pretty. The character designs are just I got nothing.
It all works. They just did their magic. They did their Trigger magic, as they do.
I don't think you do need to have played the game. I feel like they've done a very good job of introducing you to the world naturally, and like there are the only character so far that has made an appearance from the game is Night City itself.
Yeah, nice.
So you're getting like little cameo locations that are very recognizable from the game, but apart from that, it's its own thing.
It's a solo story.
Nice. I think it's set around the same time as the game as well. I could be wrong about that, but I thought I saw like a nice little Easter egg in the very first episode, which kind of marries up with the start of the game from memory, or thereabouts, or early on in the game. It was like one of the very first scenes that they were showing off, like the gameplay trailers and stuff for, which is pretty early on from memory. It's been a while since I played it, to be honest. But anyway,
it's on my watch list.
Man, we have to talk about Chainsaw Man.
We do?
Yeah, we man. I minor spoilers. Only because Denji and oh god, I forgot her name. Asa.
I'm sure it's Asa. War Devil. Yeah.
Well, not War Devil though.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean. How did
I go to like? They don't actually introduce. No, they don't actually mention her name in this chapter.
Oh, he didn't. He didn't even introduce them.
Oh, no, he introduced Denji to her, but that's it. It's like, hey, this is Denji.
It's so it really confused me when they were all standing on the roof. I'm just like, why those three? Why did he pick her?
Because she asked him out on day one. Who else is desperate enough? It was perfect. And it's so funny that it was the War Devil that set this meeting up. Yeah. And man, it's so well written, and I am just so for this like whatever
I
this
just
arc is doing, I'm all for it.
there's all sorts of magical character moments that are happening in here, and I feel like that the War Devil is more of a whiny teenage girl than Asa is,
It really seems
right?
like it in this chapter.
It
Like
just it
she's checking a panty.
yeah, she's just having a big old whinge, and it's
Cake, and she's just beating the crap out of her pillow. Oh man,
it's just it's just so good to see it all back in action again. It
yeah.
really is. And
I
that Denji, man, that Denji is just
I didn't
such a
realize how quickly I got
goofy.
attached to her as well. Like she's so
Yeah,
nice. She's a well written MC that isn't even the MC.
she could be this time around though. Denji
Yeah,
could be the background character or the
true.
love interest in this particular
Well, I don't
series.
know about that after this chapter.
I don't know. I reckon he'll grow on her like he does to
Yeah.
most people. Mr.
Like a
Comfy
tumor.
Chair.
Man, you could charge guys like people 100 yen for this. You're surprisingly comfy.
Oh, so good. So it's also corny and dumb and just ridiculous, but it just fits so well.
He's such an idiot. He's like where he comes off as such a Chainsaw Man nerd, and Yoshida's just like, I don't need to do anything. No one's gonna believe this idiot unless he transforms.
And he's
Which yeah, why didn't he just transform?
Yeah, well, he could have done that, but I think he just wants people to believe him.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he wants to be accepted for himself, and that
he doesn't
which
want to be
is kind of
who
it's
turns
kind of
into
counterintuitive, but
he wants to be known as Denji, who turns into Chainsaw Man, not Chainsaw Man that turns into Denji. It's
from what I'm gathering, he wants to be recognized by people for who he is, and the only way he can see to do that is via Chainsaw Man. But he also wants that separate identity. He wants a girlfriend. Oh man, he's just so dumb, and I love him.
What's your type of girl? One that desperately wants a boyfriend.
Got it. The girl that asked me out on day one of school. Very confidently, I might add.
It's so good. And then we've
so
got
good.
an official date for the anime too.
Yes.
Which is the 8th of October. Am I 8th or 10th?
I've got so many dates.
One of those two.
I'm like
early
18th, 11th.
They've thrown so many dates out there.
Do we actually have a date?
Yeah, I saw one come up. There was quite a few
October 11th. October 11th.
Okay, 11th. Righto.
Yeah.
Righto.
Oh man, I'm so eager to sink my teeth into it again.
Do I wait until it's all released and power through it, or do I watch it week by week?
Week by week, I think.
I don't know if I'll be able to. I reckon I'll be able to hold out for 3 episodes and then I'll want to watch it.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be able to withstand waiting the whole 12 weeks. No way. I think I'll cave it 2, if not the first.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be it's going to be like how I end up watching Rick and Morty when they're dropping it week by week. I'll end up rewatching the episodes multiple times throughout the week.
Yes.
I think it's going to be that good where you can just chuck it on, enjoy it, chuck it on, and enjoy it again.
Yeah.
Before we do, sorry.
I was just gonna say that's a sort of a hats off to the character development and the pacing of the original material. So hopefully that's will translate.
I really want to see how they're going to fill it out, right? And when I say that, it can't be panel for panel.
Why not?
There,
It'd be great.
there's going to have to be like a little bit of like extra things added in here and there. I think just for pacing's sake.
Or do you think they're going to put a swimsuit episode in?
Well, there was in the PV.
Yeah. Oh shit, there was.
Did you
That was
forget
just
about
a
that?
joke. But that's also something Fujimoto would want.
Yeah, true. I just want to see Power again, man. I miss her.
I do too.
Yeah.
I hope she does. I hope she does come back.
Before we wrap up this episode, though, I am going to take a moment to selfishly recommend something that's not even remotely related to anime or manga. Because I want it to get a sequel, I enjoyed it this much. Jamie Foxx has a new movie out on Netflix called Day Shift. It is by far one of the coolest over-the-top action movies that I've seen that doesn't take itself seriously, but has the same level of choreography as John Wick. Such a good film. Like, really cheesy, a lot of fun action, so many contortionists, and is modern day vampire hunting that's a business.
I haven't watched the movie yet, but oddly enough, I've seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff because the contortionists played such a big part in the film.
They're basically all the vampires.
Yeah, it was so amazing to see how they utilized that body manipulation to create real effects in a sense.
Yeah.
Physical effects. So it looks amazing. It really does.
It was so much fun, man. I watched it like Friday night and then had a little get together on the Saturday night. We were going to play like a bunch of like the Dark Pictures anthology games where it's like you choose your own adventure movie thing. But someone pulled out last minute, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna chuck on a movie instead. You guys are gonna have to suffer if you don't want that. Tough. And watched it the very next day again, and it was still so much fun. Like,
nice.
A very inclusive movie too. Like, a very diverse cast. And Snoop Dogg's in it. So what more can you ask for?
Oh, you can't argue with that. It must be good.
Yeah. But yeah, I really want either a series or a sequel. So this is me just putting that out into the ether.
Don't know if they'll be able to afford Jamie Foxx for a series.
Well, I think I think he was one of the producers.
So it's his.
I think it's his.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
and I mean, if it is his, then it kind of only reinforces like a lot of the people coming back for the sequel as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my little selfish. You guys should watch this because I want more of it.
Just cause. Yeah.
But
that'd be good.
Yeah. I think that covers. Oh, actually, before we do wrap up, we will I'll rapid fire some quick news. We still have no release date outside of Japan for Film Piece.
Film Piece
One Piece. One Piece Film Red. But my God, is it making serious bank in Japan? It has already earned like 13 billion yen. And that's just in it being released for just over a month. And it's already made back its budget, which was 112 million, I think.
Oh, Jesus.
Hang on. Where is it? Actually, no, they haven't. They don't haven't released that. That's its worldwide earnings. But yeah, it's going nuts. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
I guess we'll see it when we see it.
I'm really enjoying a lot of the PVs that they're dropping for new mangas, where it's like a hybrid animated manga panels.
They are
All
fun.
for this.
They're fun.
I think that's actually it. Oh, and Bleach is trending like crazy, and it
Yeah,
is
well, it's coming
also
back.
it's also got a release date of October 10th. So we'll have Bleach and Chainsaw Man going head to head at them on the well, actually a day apart, but still.
Head to head. Yeah, right. You know what's happening is Shonen's like, give me the money. Yeah, they're both gonna go off like crazy. Speaking of Bleach, I watched Burn the Witch miniseries.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
have actually still yet to catch up on that.
Well, you need to read the manga first because it directly leads on.
Really?
So it's not an
Oh,
adaptation. It's not an adaptation. It's the story leading on.
interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Colorific, I think, is the animation studio that did it.
Okay.
I'm not
Um,
too. I wasn't too familiar with them, but they did an excellent job. It's beautifully animated, and I
set in
like.
the same universe, right?
It's meant to be, and I don't know how or why. So I imagine people are curious to know
Cool.
how or why.
All right.
But I really really enjoyed it. It's good fun
I'll have to
series.
add it. I'll have to add it
Yeah.
onto the list. Um, Final little bit of chainsaw news as well that everyone seems to be talking about is that I think it's the head of Mappa. Yeah, the president of Mappa, Manabu, is a massive Chainsaw Man fan. Well, actually, no, he's more of a massive Fujimoto fan like we are, and
Who isn't?
basically has stated that he wants to animate all of Fujimoto's catalog. So we very well could be getting a Fire Punch anime after Chainsaw Man to tide us over before in between season 2, maybe even a Look Back or Goodbye Eri OVA. I don't know if you could do them as movies. I don't think that they would run long enough. Maybe like
Um,
a double feature.
you do like a 45 or a 50-minute
I reckon Goodbye
animated
Eri.
film.
I think Goodbye Eri would probably have more legs to stand on.
Yeah, it'd still be
Um,
an hour max, hour 10 maybe. But I think movie adaptation would be a better choice than a series.
oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
and look, as much as I love Mappa, I feel like there's a lot of colors to be painted here. I don't feel like that they should be animating everything. And I don't know. That's my personal
they
opinion,
want
really.
it. They want
And
it.
you know full well that I am a firm believer that Madhouse should have Fire Punch.
Ooh, what about Studio Ufotable for Fire Punch? And the only reason I say that is because it would make it slightly easier to animate Agni being on fire all the time. Only slightly.
I feel like Ufotable would just they just lens flare everything, and I use that in a liberal term. So if you want to make things look shiny in cinema, you add lens flares to make them look brighter and shinier and fancier. And I just Ufotable just have a habit of making things um,
I'm
bigger and
thinking like
messier.
thinking specifically like Demon Slayer and their work on that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. They drove very hard on the special effects and the action sequences, and
Which I mean,
that's not
Fire
really what.
Punch.
Yeah, Fire Punch doesn't really need that though. 'Cause the fire is the only thing that's there creating the effect. And I don't know if you've seen the Castlevania series on Netflix.
No,
No,
sorry.
if you want to see some absolutely stunning hand drawn,
Is that Madhouse?
yep,
Mm,
yeah, go and have it's actually a little difficult to get through because the story is quite dry and it drags on a little bit, but the animation is just flawless, absolutely stunning, timing and everything is just beautiful.
all right.
And they've got flames, they've got fire and all that sort of stuff. So check that out and see what you think. But I think they would do a much better job in the sense of recreating the atmosphere of what Fire Punch is.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be really weird anyway.
It is. It's going to be very weird and disconnected, and it's going to be serious and goofy at the same time.
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard for someone to replicate.
Bones?
Yeah, I wouldn't say no to that.
I
Bones are
reckon
fantastic.
Bones could do a pretty good
Um,
job.
Bones tend to stick to pretty stuff a lot, though.
I mean, there's a lot of pretty in Fire Punch.
Pretty innards and
It's got
limbs,
its
and
moments, man. It's got its
yeah,
moments.
like child rape and
I forgot about. Yeah, actually, yeah. Never mind.
it's dark, man. It's so
Forgot about the
dark.
whole dog thing too. That was
Yeah.
weird.
Everything is just so bizarre and so wrong about that story, but at the same time, so right. It's a
Yeah,
masterpiece.
it
And
it's a
I
it.
love Chainsaw Man, but Fire Punch is still I consider it his opus.
Nah,
His
Ubayari,
masterpiece.
I
His
reckon, is probably closer to an opus there.
It's good.
I think Fire Punch is good, but it's still very rough, and you can
Yeah,
see how
that's what
much
I love
he's
about it.
grown. Yeah,
He has grown a lot, but you could tell he poured his heart into it.
yeah.
He
It
poured
must.
everything he had, and that shows in because he kind of in Look Back. He talks about that sort of period
He
of time in his life.
split his like personality into the two characters.
Hmm.
Did you
Yeah,
notice that their names are literally his name like ripped apart?
I didn't actually take the time to look at that.
Hang on, I can't remember what their name is. Uh, Look back, there we are. Talk about something. Fill the air.
I watched
Perfect.
something else. I watched something else. What else did I watch? Um, Kizumonogatari. I watched
Oh
that.
yeah.
The three
You,
films. Um, they were mind-boggling. The animation is just jaw-droppingly beautiful, and
I still don't know where to start.
the story is just completely ridiculous and insane, and um, it's incredibly violent and incredibly horny at the same time.
That checks out.
It's just insane. I haven't seen any of the other Monogatari stuff, and I believe this sort of sits three series in. I think
Like I said,
there's
it
two other series
it
before it.
it's almost as intimidating as Fate to me.
Oh no,
Like I
Fate's
don't.
much worse.
Oh yeah, no, I
The
know.
Monogatari stuff has a continuity. Fate doesn't. It's
Okay,
just
cool.
ridiculous. It's dumb.
I I don't know, man. I'm sure the Fate fans would argue that it does.
I'm sure there is one person out there who has consumed everything that is Fate,
And
but I
that's the
don't
weird
think.
thing about Fate is like it's all mixed media as well. Like there's light
Yeah, and
novels
it's
and
all canon.
games and mobile games. That's all canon.
It's all canon.
How?
Yeah.
No.
So
So
I refuse.
main character is Fujino, and the other girl is, oh, how did, where is it? Kirimoto. It's Fujimoto.
Okay.
I didn't know. I didn't
Okay.
notice it when I read it the first time either.
No,
Um,
and it probably just didn't click. I don't click with that sort of stuff very often. I'm too busy engrossed in the story, and
yeah, 100%.
yeah,
Um,
that's just been him. That's just him being cute and whimsical.
oh
And
yeah. He's like, haha, haha, it's me and me.
check it out. I put a butt joke in there.
And
Uh,
on that note, you guys can check us out again on the 28th of September for episode 20. And check us out on all the socials: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. We are Read This Way. Please like, comment, subscribe, share us with your friends. I think that's about it.
yeah, I think so for this week.
Yeah. We'll see you next time, everybody. And stay safe out there.